staff, management, or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817.
Mic's on.
Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Welcome to the show. I am not Tom Perry. Tom is joining his dad today. His dad's having a little surgery. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're well aware, being that you work with him every day. So he called this morning and said, hey, I'd really like to be there for that. You mind taking over? And of course, no problem. I get to hang out with guys like Elijah Randall from
And
Fast
it's my
Track.
pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So good morning.
Morning.
How's everything going?
Awesome.
713-785-1817. If you have any construction-related questions, now is the time. That's a good move. You don't have to be a 10 at this.
That's right.
Let me get this situated real quick on Instagram as well. Looks like right there. Boom. All right. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have missed it. Completely missed it.
Yep.
That's awesome. So how's everything been going in the construction world?
It's going really good. And as you know, this is the time when people are prepping to really get a lot of deals if they can, so that they're in the busy season, right? They're selling, at least the flippers we're talking about. Yeah. And it doesn't really shift too much even for the landlords.
Well, I think landlords are trying to go to market at the same time, right? Because it's really weird that the cycle for sales of homes and the cycle for the renting of homes is kind of the same. Mm-hmm. You've got the busy part of the year, and a lot of it has to do with the school season.
Right, because they have time now to move. They have time to shift.
People don't want to pull their kids from one school to the other, so if they can do it during the summer months, it's much easier. They don't have to go through all the hassle of pulling their kid from one school to the other. I know that from personal experience because I've waited till the summer to buy or sell. And
even with some of our rentals, we've actually done 15, 17, 18-month leases as necessary, so we get back into the
land. Right. I heard somebody, I don't know if it was Jerry Ta. I can't remember who I heard that from. It was probably 3 or 4 months ago, and it was just like a light bulb went off for me. So for those of you that aren't familiar with what he's talking about, for those landlords out there, a lot of times, when you do have a rental that goes to market in, let's say, October or December, sometimes even January is a bad month, that sort of thing. When you go to market in that time frame, you typically are going to sign a 1 or 2 year lease, which is going to land you back in that time frame, going back to market during the off season, if you will. Mm-hmm. So the strategy is to throw in a few extra months on the lease to get the lease to end during the busy season, May, June, July, August, that sort of thing.
Or shorten it and then just have a quick renewal.
Yeah, say, hey, we can, absolutely. Yeah. So the manipulating the time that you're going to be on market through your lease is a pretty cool strategy.
Yeah, and so then that also helps, I think, when people have that then they feel like they're not going to be on hold with that property for as long, right? It's not just the pricing, because that can vary sometimes, minimally throughout the year if it's not during the hot season that we're talking about.
I mean, it makes sense for the tenant as well because there's going to be a lot more available properties if they're moving to another rental or if they're going on to the next step to buy. Right. At that point in their life, there's going to be a lot more available options, not just to rent but to buy during those months. Competition is much higher because there's so much more. There's so much more supply.
Yeah, a lot of people looking at it.
There's you're going to have better pricing during the summer and are a lot more available options in that sort of thing. So
good point.
Definitely goes up.
Yeah, so we have quite a few different people that are seeing some of those shift outs right now.
Yeah.
Some of them, I have two right now actually, where the client said when they first moved the tenant in, they didn't do any work, and it's been 5, 6, 7 years. So now they're doing an update. Got one that will be finishing early next week, where they just did some updating in the bathrooms and a repaint job.
I'm a huge fan of getting everything done on the front end, so you can set it and forget it. You're good for at least 5 to 7 years. Now, you may have the occasional thing, right, that goes wrong, but if you do everything on the front end, you get to skip so much of the hassle. But
It
I
gets locked in
understand
for a
also
while,
if
yeah.
you're trying to get into with little money, right?
Yeah, that's
If you can
sometimes
move
why
a
they do
tenant
that, sure.
to a house that's ready to go without putting any extra dollars into
Yeah,
it.
in this case, it was clean.
Yeah.
It just wasn't updated.
Got it.
Right. So they weighed out their options at that time.
Yeah, and with 5 to 7 years of cash flow, they've definitely covered the cost to do a make ready at this
Yep,
point, right?
that's right.
So that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your deal flow now. Like, what kind of weight are you guys on?
Got it. Yeah,
Somebody-
because things are busy. We talked about that, right? So I'd say at this point, nobody's waited more than a week, I don't think, to
Okay.
start. We do have some more coming up here that when they hit, it can push us probably to a week and a half, but
Okay.
we'll have to see.
Now, what about the time frame to get you guys out to give
To do a bid, we're still pretty solid on that.
Still- okay.
I'd say 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
We don't do bids
Which
on
has
the
always been
weekends,
kinda
but
standard,
but
right?
that's pretty standard for
Yeah.
us. Yeah. It's kind of funny when you look at our calendars because one day to the next, the
Yeah.
week starts filling up. And,
Yeah.
And occasionally the week will fill up pretty quick, and at that point, then it might be 3 days. But
Okay.
but most of the time, it's 2 to 3 days. We can get out there, and the reason for this, guys, we do a very detailed estimate. So
Yeah.
when we're out there, we're not just doing a quick 15-minute look.
It's not walking through and going, yeah,
No.
40 grand.
Right. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
If it's a big house like we did one the
So
other day,
let's talk about that a little bit.
3,700
Tell me
square feet, maybe
why,
longer.
what's important, not just for you guys, but what's important for the investor to have that detailed scope of work to
Yeah,
like,
that's a good
let's talk
question.
about that a little
Yeah,
bit. Because a lot of people
couple
don't
really-
realize how important that is. Whether you're dealing with Fast Track or any contractor,
Mm-hmm.
period. I see so many new people get in this business, and well, they gave me an estimate. Well, did it include the trim around? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, there's a couple really key things about a detailed estimate. I'd say first one is just having expectations met.
Yeah.
So if it's on the list, that's what's getting done.
So
Both
accountability.
ways.
is
Yeah, there's
key.
a lot
You
of
can hold them
accountability.
accountable. They
Mhm.
can tell you, hey, you didn't ask for that.
Mhm.
You know, that sort
Right.
of thing.
So
right?
so good accountability is a good word. That way, then we are able to let the person know. Well, we talked about that. That's why it's on the list, or vice
Yeah.
versa. Hey, you said it was on the list. It should be getting done.
Yeah.
And so it's
And
there.
what I've noticed about you guys is y'all are very good. And you know, I've done walkthroughs with other contractors as well. Other contractors even that were attempting to do a detailed scope of work. But what I've noticed about you guys, and what for me is really refreshing, because I don't. Like, I can walk into a property and I've walked enough of them, you know, probably over 1,000 by now, that I can walk in and I can get pretty close, at least within 10% of a rehab number. But if you ask me why that number is what it is, no idea. I could not tell you, well, this much is for the kitchen and that much is for the bathroom.
Right.
As a whole, I've got it down pretty well, but the breakdown for me is still a lost art, right?
Yeah.
But I've been through walkthroughs with other contractors, and what I like about you guys is you ask the questions that need to be asked, as to where other contractors, they're waiting for me to give them guidance on everything.
Right.
Well, and I don't necessarily know that this needs to be done or doesn't need to be done, or that I even need to make a decision on it,
Yeah.
right? So walking through a property with you guys, you're pointing out hey, do you want to do this? Do you not want to do it? Like, we
Yeah.
need to know, we need to get that out of the way now, right?
Right, and
As
then
a-
we'll even talk through the ramifications of
If you
doing it
don't.
on the budget
Yeah.
or not doing it on the final product.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good to keep the mindset that we're not trying to do anything but partner with the investor at that point.
Absolutely.
But in partnering, sometimes we do need to talk about things that might be identifying against what their original plan was.
Yeah.
I mean, if they thought the budget was only this, and then we start asking questions, well, I didn't see that, or I didn't think about
Yeah.
that, or nobody else talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear that so much.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, well, okay, you don't have to do it.
You don't.
But if you don't do it, let's talk about what happens.
What happens? Because
Right.
you guys want the investor to be as successful as possible,
Right.
because that's where your next job comes from.
Correct.
Right? And
Yeah.
I think a lot of contractors, they're worried about their immediate job. They're not thinking long-term
Long-term relationship.
as to where,
Yeah, that's
and you
it.
know, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, Fast Track costs a little bit more than these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the way Tom puts it. Tom puts it as Fast Track is as low price as they can possibly be to stay in business long-term.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So you can...
And
you
capacity that we're able to put
yeah,
out. Right.
you can get a lower price, but you're not going to be able to have a long-term relationship with that contractor, because he's always chasing the next job, and he's always going to be falling a little bit farther behind.
Unfortunately, we've seen
Yeah.
that happen a
It-
lot.
it is, and
and then when it blows up on somebody.
It blows up on somebody, and then
Yeah.
that poor contractor is the bad guy, right?
Yeah, and they didn't set out to be that.
They didn't
just
set out to be that
understand.
way,
Right.
and that doesn't mean who they are as a person. The problem is so many investors, either they're new or they've got a lack mentality, and they're
Or
trying
they get
to
attracted to their original number, and then they find somebody
Well,
who's
yeah,
willing to
because
put
they're
it
set
out
on
there,
It's
right?
Like, hey,
yeah.
this is they solved for the wrong X,
Yeah.
and now they've got to find somebody who will say yes to that X,
Yeah.
even though it can't be done. Right.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about geography. Where are y'all at as far as geography?
We're doing pretty well now. We're in Conroe, over to Porter,
2 minutes.
Baytown, down to Texas City,
Okay.
Alvin area, and then over to Rosenberg on the Katy side, and then
Okay.
up
Still not to
Lower
Galveston
Magnolia.
yet?
No,
Probably
we're not
never
doing
gonna go to
Galveston.
Galveston?
I don't know. It's different. Oh yeah, I mean some people think it's just a hop and a skip away from Texas City, but it's quite. There's
Well,
some
it's not
differences.
for me. Galveston. It's not just the distance; it's the difference in what you're doing.
There's a lot.
So many different rules and so many different types of materials and permits and different things like that in
Yeah.
Galveston.
And not all of our crews do want to go down there. So
Yeah.
we'd like to keep where we could stay steady and make more of the guarantees that we are able to make in this area.
Absolutely.
Right, absolutely. I do like what you said, though. You said that that there's a big ballparking number, and then there's the detailed number.
Yeah.
And I have good news. The Apple's taken a little bit longer to review it, but the monthly subscription new Pro update is
Awesome.
online right now for
1
Android.
minute.
It's already there. 7-day
Okay.
free trial and monthly subscription. It's on. It's
Awesome.
out. Those of you that have already purchased the app, you need to get with me, Elijah, at fasttrackremodeling.com, and then I can give you a 2-year free code.
So
Those who've already
email
purchased it.
Elijah at fasttrackremodeling.com. I'll be doing that myself because I had the other app
Great.
for Android.
Yeah, and then those that are on for Apple, that should be through review anytime, any day, and then I will let you know. But if you
So
want to let me know that you have that.
If you're on
yeah.
Apple, you deserve to have to wait longer than
No.
That's how I feel.
I'm on
about
Apple.
that.
Come on, man.
That's
Hey.
how I feel about that. Awesome. So if you bought the app before, you will get 2 years worth.
Yeah,
of
they
free
just send a
subscription.
screenshot of them and their thing because it's a one-time, one-use
Okay.
code. So yeah.
if they're brand new, just getting the app,
They will
how
get
can
the
they get
7-day
that?
free trial, and then they'll be able to do
And
a
what are they
monthly
looking it up
subscription.
under on
Turnkey
Android?
estimates.
Turnkey estimates. Is that Android and Apple?
Yes, turnkey
All right,
estimates.
so we've streamlined that. Turnkey estimates on both. So
Perfect.
you can look that up. So everybody, thanks for Elijah. Thank you, Elijah, for joining us. You can reach him at Elijah at fasttrack.com. Or fasttrackremodeling.com.
Yep.
And then the phone number is 832-742-9992. The music says we're out of time. We'll be back in the next segment with Jerry Toff from Property Care. Thanks, everybody. We hope to see you on the other side of the break.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal.
Hey, good morning,
Insurance company
Jason.
is
Good to
slow or
see you, brother.
non-responsive.
Andy, good morning.
You could lose
Ben,
a
good
deal
morning.
Like that.
Aaron, good morning.
Quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands
Checking.
investor mindset.
Checking. 1, 2,
They know
3.
what you
Checking.
need
1, 2,
and
3.
when you need it. It's there for you.
Checking.
Call Houston's leading real estate risk management
You're
expert,
testing fine.
Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas.
Perfect.
281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at
How's everything going? You good?
benchmarkbroker.com.
Yeah.
Are you
Running
looking
like
for an
crazy or what?
investor-friendly general contractor?
No, actually,
for your
I
investment
just had
property?
surgery on my
Then
nasal.
Call Fast Track
Okay.
Remodeling at
I've been struggling with it.
Deviated septum kind of thing, or?
832-742-9992.
I had a slight
Or reach
deviation,
us on
but,
the web at
I had a
fasttrackremodeling.com.
lot of sinus issues.
Okay.
Fast
And
Track
part of that
Remodeling
sinus issue is my
specializes in
passageways
turnkey
and my sinus
remodeling
are all
of
like
single-family
tiny.
investment
So they had to
properties.
balloon
Whether
them?
it's a flip
Yeah, I did a
rehab or
balloon
a rental
rhinoplasty,
rehab,
Okay.
got rid of
manage
my
every aspect
terminates,
of a
and
rehab
then they
from start
fixed
to
my
finish with a
slight.
highly
It was a really,
efficient,
I mean, I
standardized
wouldn't have done
process.
it if.
Over the
They
last
put
6
you under
years,
for that, right?
Fast Track has
No, they
completed over
didn't.
Oh.
700
projects,
See,
which has helped us to create our
couldn't
3
handle it.
keys to
So
success.
you got to knock me out, man.
Use a detailed scope of
Man,
work
it was
so
crazy
that everything
because
gets
they're
done.
getting
Train
that
and
tube in
maintain
there,
quality
and then they
crews
put the
so it
balloon
gets
in
done
there,
right,
and then they
complete
like
the work in a proper
blow
order
the
so it gets
balloon,
done
and
fast.
you hear your head
No
like
more managing it yourself. No more doing the
crunching,
work
and
yourself.
you know you
Fast
got
Track
like
Remodeling
they do like
really
4
does
times
manage
on
it
each
all.
side, so
So
it's like
give us a
8
call
times
today
total.
Okay,
at
10 seconds.
832-7992.
I was
Again,
awake
that's
for the whole thing.
832-742-9992.
I wanna go to- I
Or
want
reach
them to
us
put
on
me
the
out
web
and
at
give me stitches.
I wouldn't have
fasttrackremodeling.com.
mind them putting me
This
out.
is
Here we
Business 1110. Mike's on.
I want to change it to property care.
Oh, yeah, let's do this. See, everybody's reminding. Y'all keep me on my toes today.
Good morning, everyone. This is Jerry Todd with Property Care. I'm here with Daniel here, and we're going to be talking about Property Management Day and rent out your rental property. The leasing season is well underway.
It's well underway.
It's June 6th right now, so school's out, and people are ready to move.
So we were just talking about that in the last segment with Elijah from Fast Track, how very often the rental cycle is exactly the same as the buying cycle, right?
Yep.
And that's because of the school season. Everybody
Right.
wants to move. And I'm pretty sure it was you I heard it from, but he had mentioned it as well, talking about, hey, good morning, Mr. Deeds. He was talking about the strategy of if you're putting a tenant in like November or December or something
Right.
like that, adding a few extra months, doing like a 16-month or a 17-month rental
Right.
to get the property to where the renewal is happening in the busy months, right?
Yeah, and that's the best, and it's just there's just more people looking
Yeah.
during months of June, July.
So do y'all do
August.
that with tenants?
We do that.
Okay, and let me ask you a question. As far as the tenants go, are they ever confused as to why that is? Do they realize it's a benefit for them as well?
No, we're pretty upfront with them. It's like, hey, we want you back. You know, your lease expiring in May, and if they have kids, it probably
makes
works.
sense for
yeah,
them.
it makes
Yeah.
sense for them also. And then usually, most of the time, they're on board with it.
Well, I think even if they don't have kids, just because of the sheer choice and there's so many more properties available in May and
Right.
June, because that's when investors are going to market. So if
Yeah.
they are moving to another rental or even buying, they've
Yeah.
got a lot more. Excuse me, a lot more properties available during that time of year.
Yeah, I mean, it could go both ways. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, some people are like, no, I want to be in December, or you know, people have different job reasons why they
Yeah,
want to
that's
move out at
true,
different
too.
times. But I mean, generally, if they have kids that are in school, they would love to get out during the summer season.
Yeah.
It just makes sense for them to be able to move rather than taking their kids out of school and putting them in a new school and whatever.
So let's talk a little bit about your process, and not necessarily your process. I find so many people that are trying to get into the property management
Yeah.
business, and I don't think they realize like how complex that is. Not just how complex it is, but the liabilities and the responsibilities that go along with being a property manager. So can you talk a little bit about that? And then after that, I'd like to, what is the number one headache in your business as far as running a property management company the size that you have?
So I think one of the biggest things that makes our life difficult is we essentially have two clients.
Okay.
We have two sets of customers, right, for each product. Meaning
Yes.
we have the owner that owns the house, and then also we have the tenant.
tenant.
So the idea is that you have to balance the two. One is that you want to always provide a good product to your tenant,
Yeah.
because you want to keep them paying rent, you want to keep them happy and keep them in there, and at the same time you're cash flow conscious about the property at the same time. I will tell you that having a tenant as a headache is one issue, and it's generally more manageable than having an owner that's a headache.
Absolutely, I can see that.
And I tell you, you know, and we try to set our expectations beforehand. A lot of it's setting your expectations beforehand. But like, for example, if a water heater goes out, it's not a 2 or 3 week replacement period. We're like, hey, we need 10 bids. Like, no.
Yeah, that's like a 2-day max, like
Yeah,
24, 48
exactly.
hour kind
We
of
need
thing.
to provide hot
Because
water.
They have to have hot water, yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you know, owners are like, you know, owners are kind of new. They're like, oh, well, what does it really cost? And they're, you know, they're unaware. Like, well, you know, I mean, you go to Home Depot and you
Yeah.
know how much hot water costs. It's $500.
Here's what I found. For me, what makes sense is one, if I've been doing this long enough myself, I've made Tom and I joke about it all the time. You see these people that have been in real estate for 5, 6, 7 years, and they're on Facebook and they're going, "Hey, does anybody know a good tree guy?"
Right.
Like, you've been doing, like, you're just now looking for, like, so what that tells me is not that you've never needed a tree guy before.
Right.
It's that you've never built a relationship with a tree guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always trying to find the guy with the lowest price that you can use one time, and then you have to find that guy every time.
And
right?
that happens. And the other thing that does happen is that you'll find out that once you build a relationship with, like, let's just say a tree guy just started his own business, he's just there to get new business, and he's great giving you great prices, and all of a sudden now
he's going to go up at some point.
He's going to go up at some point. It's like, whoa, like, hey, what happened to your prices? And then, or he starts being less responsive and stuff. So I can, again,
so you do have to work those relationships and sometimes replace them. But for me as an investor, if I don't have that relationship myself, but you're managing the properties, I've got to assume that you've got a hot water heater guy.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we looking for? And chances are you found the best one that is available right now.
And it's really not about price when it comes to hot water.
Sometimes it's about speed
and actually doing it right.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen hot water heaters where they put a new one and then they adjust that flue pipe.
Oh, wow.
Next thing you know, you got a roof leak.
Yeah.
You got water coming in from the rain, or it's just not connected correctly. So having it, someone that you can trust that knows to do it right.
Yeah.
Like, what if, like, next time you get a turnover and then you want to turn on gas, and next thing your hot water heater gets tacked up because they didn't put the pan or they didn't put the exhaust pipe or whatever.
So you want the guy that's going to go do it one time, and you're not going to have to deal with it again, even if it costs a couple extra bucks, right?
Yes.
And for me, that's a lot of it. Elijah and I were talking about the mindset of doing everything on the front end, or doing some maintenance down the road. Postponing it, basically.
Right.
For me, I'm a big fan of doing it on the front end and not having to worry about it. But at the same time, if it is a property that you can, when you buy it, it's pretty much already rent ready. It's just not updated, but it's clean, and you can put people in it now, and you can cash flow it for 5 or 7 years, and then start to do some of the deferred maintenance. That works too. So, Ed Nunez, one of our students here at Right Path, is asking, do y'all manage rentals in Alvin?
We do.
They do. So you can reach them at 713-489-7653, Ed. That's 713-489-7653, www.propertycarehouston.com.
So I got a little tip. Like I said, leasing season is well underway, right? And this is like what I find kind of funny sometimes, is that you want to get your property shown. There's a really, really easy way to do it.
Okay.
Just pull up your blinds wide open, and you got a sign in the front yard. People can walk right up to your door, look through the window, and then they'll know.
See what they want or not. Yeah,
exactly.
Before they even make the call, right?
Because I get a lot of owners that they'll come back to the property when it's on the market, and then they'll close all the blinds. I'm like, no, there's a reason why I put up all these blinds, so people can just walk up right to the door, peep inside, and like, oh, this is something I want.
Yeah, it's not like it's full
of
furniture and full of all the other stuff that nobody's breaking in to steal.
Right,
it, right?
And if you're in a rougher neighborhood, it's helpful, because if someone's looking to break into your house, are they going to break into the house where they look inside and see, like, oh, there's nothing to steal?
Yes.
Or like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what
attract renters, but it deters people from breaking in.
There's no reason for me to break into this house.
Makes absolute sense.
Because there's nothing
did you catch the show yesterday?
I did not.
So we've got a property out on Clear Lake Road on the San Jacinto River, and Tom's got cameras up in the property.
Right.
And if you get a chance, go back and watch it. Long story short, he caught somebody at 6:45 in the morning breaking in, got the cops out there. It was like all recorded. Like, cops taking him down. Dude was hiding in the attic, fell through the roof, got taken away in the ambulance. They were there in a stolen truck, like the whole thing, like 8 cops, 4 cop cars.
Really?
Crazy. Yeah, so pretty fun stuff.
That's interesting that they actually got out there quick enough.
It took them 18 minutes to get there, so I thought that was pretty fast.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
So, but he's got them going down the driveway, assault weapons drawn, because they parked, the driveway's pretty long, so they parked out by the street, and they were creeping up on the place. It was a guy and a girl. They took the girl down in front of the house, and they got the guy inside. It was pretty awesome stuff.
That's it.
So that's a great tip. Keep the blinds up. That way you're going to get a lot more exposure that way.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like a lot of rentals, having stuff online and listed is great, but so many rentals are rented from people driving around, looking in a neighborhood they want to live in, and seeing a sign in the yard.
Yeah.
Right.
And then even then, like, so we have a website, so we actually have our website on there, and then we have like a text thing. But if you're doing it on your own, like, show the price there too.
Yeah.
So they can look at the house,
because that's 90% of the calls you get. Hey, how much is it renting for?
Exactly.
How much is it renting for?
So if
That's
you having a way to give more information about the house, like
Yeah.
how many bedrooms, and then they can peep inside. Again, is a weed out process.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to reduce the amount of calls. You want to get the calls that you want to
because
get.
you think, hey, I know how to go look this up and find out what the bed and bath count is. I can see if it's listed online, what the price is.
Right.
Most people either they're too lazy to do it or they're not sophisticated enough to do it. So
Right.
you get calls all the time. Hey, what's the bed and bath count of this house? How much are you asking?
Right.
All
What's
that
deposit?
kind of stuff, right? Yeah, what's the
is there-
deposit?
Is there a deposit?
Is there? Nope, not on this one. Of course, there's a deposit. What kind of question is that? So, before we wrap up, let's talk a little bit about this year compared to last year. What are you seeing different in this busy season compared to last year? Because last year was our first summer out of Harvey.
Yeah.
Right. So there was a lot of still craziness going on in the market. Do you feel like that's kind of simmered down some, or is it just as busy now as it was then?
No, so we're a lot more busy because last year we created a weird cycle.
It did.
An unusual cycle. So this year, June 1st, we had about 6 move-ins.
Oh wow!
Already.
So you think things are getting back to normal as
Yeah.
far as the cycle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say so.
Good deal. Any other hot tips that you would give as far as? Let me ask you this: because there's so many new property managers popping up,
Uh-huh.
and if I'm a new investor and I just started, I don't know the difference between you and the guy across the hall who's got 3 rentals that he's managing, but his advertisement
2
I
minutes.
saw.
Right.
So when somebody is looking for a property manager, let's try to get 3 or 5 things that they should be asking
Yeah.
to make sure they're vetting that property manager correctly.
Yeah. So first thing, if you're looking at a property manager, go on HAR and check out their brokerage.
Okay.
Right? Like how many listings do they really have? And then look at how many listings, and then also
Not just active, but sold, right?
no, just active at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, right now, I think at one point I had like 20. Now I'm down to like 10
Oh, wow.
or less.
Nice.
Our pictures are good.
Yeah.
Look at their pictures and like, okay, is this what you want your listing to
Is
look
it
at?
is it somebody using his iPhone, or are they actually
Right.
getting some pictures?
Or some better pictures, just better quality, like
Yeah.
or know how to take pictures. I mean,
Yeah.
I take pictures of my phone, but
Well,
I
and
got
a lot of it
lighting
is
on-
knowing what pictures to take and what angles and all that kind of stuff too, right?
So that's really important. Like how many listings? If you got 0 listings, or if it's like a brand new, like they got no history of actually even leasing or selling a
1
property,
minute.
it's like the likelihood of them knowing what to do is
Yeah.
probably low. And then just the pictures. I mean that alone right there would
Should
tell
tell
you
you.
a lot.
Okay, so you can look up not just active, but you can look up the history of how many they've done.
Right.
And if they do have some actives, you can look at the quality of their pictures and their listing to see.
Yeah, I mean you can go to myhard.com/Jerry Ta. I mean you can look at all my listings. If I have
Awesome.
I've leased out over like probably close to 400 properties.
Oh, wow. That's
on
so
there, and
many.
you can see my pictures.
So
I mean, the
what do you-
quality.
During the busy season, how many do y'all typically have in a cycle? You said you had almost 20, now you're down to 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's going to fluctuate through the next couple
So
months.
we got a bunch of move outs this month,
Okay.
and then we're bringing like 4 or 5 more on board,
Nice.
like about to be listed once they're get cleaned up and stuff.
All right, guys, so you can reach them at www.propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653. When it comes to Property Care, Jerry Ta and Property Care are the people you want to be doing business with. That's who we do businesses with. That's who our clients do business with, and we suggest that you do the same. We'll be back after this break. Hope to see you there.
All right, thank you
for
everyone.
coming out, man.
Give us a call.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance.
Hey, good morning.
Texas.
Brian.
The team at
Good
Benchmark
morning,
understands the
Ed.
investor
Good morning,
mindset.
Ashley. Good
They know
morning,
what you
Maribel.
need
Good
and when
morning,
you need
Brad.
it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years.
Good morning,
and we insure over 30,000
realestateInvesting.com.
properties.
Good morning,
Contact Benchmark about our
Andy. Good morning,
exclusive investment
Commander Root,
package.
Mr. D's
Call us
REI.
and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Mic's on.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Daniel Gollinger, Right Path Real Estate Radio. I'm filling in this morning not filling in, just riding solo. Typically, I would be here during this segment. So I guess in the first 2 segments, I was filling in because Tom typically does those. And then I typically join on the 3rd and 4th segment on Thursdays. So great talking with Elijah from Fast Track and Jerry Ta from Property Care. Always love hanging out with those guys and getting updates from them. You know, when you're working with a team that has the amount of market knowledge, and here's what I can tell you is, you know, a lot of people when they say, oh, I've got 20 years experience in this business or 20 years experience doing a certain thing. And I'm a firm believer in you can have been doing something for 20 years, but only have a couple years of experience, because very often you're repeating the same year over and over, right? Now, when you're working with somebody like Fast Track, or you're working with somebody like Property Care, or let's say the amount of deals that we do in HHB, or the amount of deals that we oversee with students in Right Path, there's a market knowledge. When you're working with folks like Jet Lending, for crying out loud, seeing thousands and thousands of properties, Fast Track has done so many remodels, and you got to understand that for every remodel they do, they probably walk 3 properties, right? For every loan Jet Lending does, they probably review 3 loan applications. Like, the sheer amount of market knowledge when you put these folks together and you can interact with them on a daily basis, you can't help but have an understanding of the market that somebody that doesn't work with these folks would have. Hey, good morning, DJ Coy. Thanks for joining us on Instagram. So the amount of market knowledge that these guys have, if you can get that market knowledge from them through working with them on deals, just conversation, networking, that sort of thing, you're going to move your business forward a lot faster. How can you compress time in your business? And so many people want to figure things out for them. For those of you on the radio, I'm doing the air quotes right now. They want to figure things out for themselves. That's great. But why? Why do you want to figure it out for yourself? I can tell you the reason most people want to figure it out for themselves is because they have a lack mindset and they don't want to pay or take the time to build a relationship that it takes to get the information from somebody else. If I can do it myself, I can save money. So here's the issue I have with that. You're saving money, but you're wasting time. And I think everybody can agree that time is the more valuable asset. Always. Every day, twice on Sunday. Time is the more valuable asset. You can raise more money. You can create more money. You can earn more money. You can't do any of those things with time. So if you can compress your business, if you can compress your life, if you can compress anything that you're going to spend time doing, if you can compress the time on that from learning from somebody else, no matter what the cost is, why would you not do that? No, I'm not saying, be silly about it and just, go try. You've got to do your homework. You've got to make sure you're learning from the right people. You've got to make sure the people that you are giving an education dollar to are really the people that you want to be learning from. There's so many people in this space and in other industry education spaces that have no business being there because education is a business in itself, right? And, I got into I won't give too many details, but there was, some of our good friends at Jet were having a guy on Facebook give them a hard time the other day about the way they do business. And the guy had never done business with them. So he was basically throwing out a lot of false accusations. So I kind of came to their defense, not in a mean, sort of way, just said, hey, so many people I know, myself included, have worked with these guys. They get things done. They've literally closed loans with us within 24 hours. I mean, Johnny and Rob got a loan done for us a few weeks ago for one of our students we were selling a property to. They got it done in 24 hours. And Johnny was just getting out of surgery. And he's calling back, hey, what can we do? Let's get it done, right? So I'm giving that kind of information and letting everybody know that if you ask anybody in the Houston market, these guys are pillars of our real estate investment community. Whether you've done business with them or not, I guarantee you've been to one of their events and let them buy you a beer, right? So it just drives me nuts when people are trying to turn people into bad people on Facebook. And at the end of the day, the guy's account, it was a spoof account. It wasn't even a real person. There was no real information, no bio info. There was no pictures. It was just a made up profile. And this guy was going to attack. And that led them to, that got shut down on that thread, but then that person started coming to me via message on another fake account, right? And, so obviously they were doing their research on me. And, you get lumped in, right, as, Right Path, y'all are some of those gurus, right, that are taking a bunch of money from people that, don't have a hope or a prayer, and, and that's not the case, right? And, I tried to explain what we were about to those people because there are so many people out there. And it's easy. It's understandable why they would think that we were in that group because they don't know us. They don't know what we're about. They don't know that we have a heart to help people. And they don't know how many people that we turn away because they're not in a place to be ready for the kind of help that we can give them. Or financially, if they did work with us, they wouldn't be able to go any further. So we turn those kind of folks away. Not because we don't want to help them, but because they're not ready for our help, right? As to where so many people in the real estate industry, it's, hey, how many dollars can we get? I mean, I've been to some of these events where they're trying to help you sign up for HELOCs and credit cards and just all that kind of crazy stuff. So didn't mean to get off on that tangent. What I was talking about was the sheer knowledge and being able to compress time when you're working with the right folks. When you're working with folks like Elijah and Jeff and Mr. Perry at Fast Track, when you're working with folks like Jerry Ta at Property Care, when you're working with folks like Johnny and Eddie and Rob over at Jet Lending, I can go on and on. But we've developed a team that not only can help you compress time, but that we use to help us compress time as well, because time is a limited resource. So why would you not fast forward in any area you can fast forward, right? It just makes sense. Unless you've got an ulterior reason that you won't do it. And I think a lot of times people think that makes them inferior in a way. or they think, hey, I need to learn this myself to prove to myself I can do it. Like, I mean, that's all well and good, but you're going to have a very limited number of things you can learn in life if you take the time to become an expert at all of those things. When you can learn that expertise from people that have already put in the time. And we do it too. Tom and Andy and I are taking a course right now from some guys that have got 60 years worth of expertise, that we're trying to get that from them so that we can learn from them in their tried and true ways of doing things and ways they have things set up and that sort of thing. So it's not something that I'm just preaching to you. It's something that we actually do as well. We're firm believers in it, and we act on that as well. So we also put our dollars into the education space to learn from other folks who have been there before us, who have done it bigger and better than we have, even over a long period of time. Because I can tell you, looking back, they say hindsight is 20/20. So you can learn the right things to do, and you can also, for me, which is almost more important, is learn the wrong things not to do. One of the things that we talk about at our 2-day academy is, the memorandum of contract. And, for Tom, that lesson was a $50,000 lesson. The very first time they came across a situation where they lost a deal because they didn't have a memorandum of contract filed on a contract they had on a property, they lost out on $50,000. Now, they didn't take $50,000 out of their pocket. So, some people say, well, if you never had it, you didn't lose it. But I'm a firm believer in, if, not receiving something that you would have received, it's very similar to losing it. So, they had a deal that the seller went and contracted with somebody else on, and they were going to make $50,000 on that flip. And they did not have a memorandum of contract filed. So they lost out on that deal. But what I can tell you is every deal since that day has 100% had a memorandum of contract filed on it. And we've told and shared that with probably thousands of people at this point, so that they never have to have that $50,000 loss.
2 minutes.
So what is that worth to you to be able to not have to make that mistake yourself? Granted, it's not really a financial setback, but it's not allowing you to have the financial jump forward that you would have had. So what is the cost of that worth? We share that at our 2-day academy, which you can come to up to 12 times in a year with our club membership. You can look into that on our website, www.rightpathrealestate.com. Our club membership for a full year is, I want to say it's $749, which is super affordable for the number of classes and other things you get with it. I'm not going to get into too much of that. You can learn about all that on our website. But if you are interested in that and you would like to come to our 2-day academy in June, shoot me an email today at support@rightpathrealestate.com. And just put in the subject line discount code. If you shoot me an email today and ask for a discount code, I'm going to email you back a discount code that's going to cut that price by a third. And I think it'll take it from $750 down to $497. So shoot me an email today, support@rightpathrealestate.com. If you would like to take advantage of that club level membership, and that has to be done today, I'll get you that discount code today. Otherwise, you can come out and get some more information about that and what we do at our Wealth Through Real Estate case study, which is going to be 2 Thursdays from today. Man, I was jumping ahead a week, trying to make the summer go by too fast. So on June 20th, Thursday night at 6:30, Tom is going to be going over a deal that he just recently contracted that will, I believe it's in the construction phase now, or if not, it's getting ready to get started on construction. But it's basically a fourplex that he took down with no money out of pocket. And he's going to show you the strategy that he used to do that, how he found the deal, how he funded the deal, all the numbers that go into that. So we'll wrap this up with a couple final thoughts right after this break. I appreciate everybody joining me today and hope that you'll stick around for the last segment. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Thanks.
Hey, Daniel, you got to call Andy.
Okay.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that.
Hey, good morning, Gulf Coast Vision Center on Instagram. Thanks for joining.
The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas.
Brad, sir, I'm not sure if I caught you last go around, but I see you there. I appreciate you hanging out.
They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package.
Yeah, Ben, that was nuts. I don't know if you got to see that yesterday, but if you haven't, I really would go back and watch it. It's pretty cool.
4353. That's
Tom gives the whole story. Probably first segment and a half.
At benchmarkbroker.com.
You can get through the whole story. But
that's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353.
Took some bad folks off the street.
Online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hey, Jerry, thanks for joining.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or
Ben, are you talking about the actual video of what happened?
Don't forget about our famous...
Or are you talking about the video of the radio show where we talk about it?
Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992
You're talking about the video of the actual occurrence. We've sent that over to the Sheriff's Department.
FastTrackRemodeling.com.
I don't know the legalities on whether or not that's something we can share.
Specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
It's about an hour
Over the
and a half
last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
Yes, sir.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Hey, mic's on.
Welcome back, Right Path Real Estate Radio. My name is Daniel Gollinger. I am usually the co-host of the show, but today I'm hosting solo. So Rick lets me know we've got a call on the line. Andy, welcome to the show.
I'm taking over as co-host, brother.
Yeah?
Yeah. Great show today so far.
Okay.
Thanks. Wanted to give a shout out for Elijah and Jerry Taw. Thanks for coming in. I had a thought on your last segment when you were talking. I had 2 thoughts. You were talking about the compressing time. And I used to work for a university before I came along with Right Path.
Okay.
And you know what? We had a library at the university. But you know what? People still paid the professors to go to class.
Funny how that works, right?
And the professors would pick out what books were important for the students to learn. They had a way to guide them through that vast, multiple floors of books to get them the education they needed so that they would know what they needed to know.
Well, not only are the professors guiding them in the right direction. I mean, walk into a library and try to learn any subject, and you don't know where to start or where to finish, what's important, what's not.
Right. What book is a good book and the best book for this versus it's on the shelf.
Correct.
And the other thing you're talking about the memorandum of contract and the not making $50,000 is the same as how did you say it? Say that again. That was a good line.
So I feel like when not making money is you're not taking it out of your pocket, but not having the opportunity to make money that you would have had. Losing that opportunity is just the same as losing the money.
Right. Okay. So, you've got kids. I've met several of them.
Okay, that's true.
And what if you told them that they were going? What if you told them, hey, next week we're going to Disneyland?
Okay.
They're all hyped for Disneyland.
Of course.
Then you say, you know what? We're not going to Disneyland. The morning of, you take that away.
They would absolutely feel like they lost.
They were counting on Disneyland.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
taking that away from them.
That. I thought that.
They would definitely feel like they lost it, even though they never had it.
Exactly. So yeah, just kind of thought of those as illustrations.
2 minutes.
And yeah, so great show. I'll see y'all here in a bit. I know you're about to wrap up. Tell the folks about the webinar next week and the case study at the end of the month, man.
Will do. Thanks for calling in, Andy. I appreciate it. All right, so if I did talk about the case study a little while ago, that's obviously 2 weeks off from today. But if you'd like to get more information about buy and hold, so there's 5 ways we make money in buy and hold real estate. If you'd like to learn more about those, then we're doing a live webinar next Tuesday night. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. We do that live for you so you can get the information and ask questions. I know a lot of webinars are pre-recorded and just played over and over. We try not. We don't. I'm not gonna say we try not to. We don't do that. Our webinars are live. That way you can get the information and ask questions, because we realize that everybody receives information and understands information differently, and we want you to be able to ask those questions that make you more comfortable and help you understand the information that was just delivered. So you can register for that on our website at www.rightpathrealestate.com. You can register for that webinar. You can also register for the case study. If you didn't catch it before, I said it yesterday or the day before, I'll go ahead and say it again for those of you that weren't here then.
30 seconds.
Our case study, because of construction that's going on at the office building where we office, we are in a smaller space. So we have limited seating. So we will have to cut registration
20
off.
seconds.
So please don't register unless you're sure you're coming, but register early. That way we can hold you a spot, because we will have to cut that off. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday. Tom and I will be back in the studio tomorrow together talking about more real estate stuff that we've got going on and talking with you guys. We've got a heart to help, and we hope to be able to do that for you. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Thanks.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Tom at rightpathrealestate.com. You can put the fear behind you and listen every day from 9 to 10 a.m. on Business 1110 KTEK.